Hello. Well, there seems to be, well, a lot of noise. Stop making so much noise. There seems to be a little bit of something going on in regards to Cambridge Analytica. I made a film about it not so long ago. In fact, well, it was about a year before the mainstream started talking about it properly. And Cambridge Analytica, of course, got into trouble for harvesting data from Facebook and so-called manipulating elections. And the news from just last night is that they have shut down, they've ceased operations, and they're pursuing insolvency, bankruptcy, which is quite interesting really, isn't it? So I thought on my way to work I would swing past just to see if there's anything to see. It's interesting, isn't it, that well, it seems that mainstream reality is lagging behind my videos by approximately 1 year. Is there anything else, any other video I made about a year ago that is now conforming to mainstream reality? That he doesn't want Donald Trump to come, or he doesn't think Donald Trump should come, or isn't going to come. But he is going to come. I know that now because of surveying the evidence. So yeah, let's go and check out their offices. Oh yeah, there are a couple of members of the press just hanging about with an intimidatingly expensive camera. Yeah, I'm going to try and get across the road without dying. And then, I'm not sure what floor they're on actually. See if I can get over there, see what floor they're on, and then see possibly if we can peer through the windows. Let's have a look. Be interested to see if they've taken their sign down. Yeah, there is a conspicuous gap. Floor number 2, I guess. What was it like before? Yeah, it's definitely changed. And they're just like, the receptionist is looking a bit suspicious. Floor number 2. Let's see if we can spot anything through the windows. Floor number 2, ground floor, first floor, second floor. There's someone in there. I just spoke to the journalist people over there, and I said, "Oh, are you waiting around for something to happen?" And they said, "Well, yeah, we're waiting for possibly one of the executives to turn up." And I said, "Have you been at home studying to, like, you know, so you've memorized what they look like?" And he said, "A white man in a suit looks like any other white man in a suit," which is a bit racist. But the interesting thing is that Cambridge Analytica, I mean, they say they've shut down, and obviously they know a lot about game theory, you know, having forged, you know, coups in countries around the world and that sort of thing. They know a lot about game theory, meaning that they know exactly how to muddy the investigation and make it sort of exponentially more difficult for anything to actually be properly investigated. So yeah, they've disbanded, and where have all their staff gone? Well, interestingly, it seems that Cambridge Analytica actually will still operate, but now they just have a different name. They're called Emerdata. Essentially the same people doing the same business, but just with a different name. So, clever stuff. I'm going to come back, I think, later on, maybe on my lunch break, just to see if anything has changed. But, yeah. Interesting. There is, of course, a big elephant in the room that not many people are actually talking about, which I'll talk about when I come back. I'll just leave my camera here for a few hours.
I didn't really leave my camera there. You knew that anyway, didn't you? I'm just gonna fall a massive height. Oh my god! Oh my god. So I spoke to the journalists again. They said they've seen nothing. They don't expect anything to happen. I said to them, do you think they've left the country? And he said, I don't know. So there we go. So interestingly, this new company they formed at Emerdata, it was originally set up in a building on Great Queen Street next to the Grand Masonic Lodge, and now is essentially just lodged in a sort of boiler room, similar to what we were talking about I was talking about the other day, 29 Harley Street. Essentially just lodged in a boiler room in Canary Wharf. Essentially like a shell company. So yeah, I mean, they're not expecting to see anybody from Cambridge Analytica. I wouldn't imagine that we'll actually hear anything from Cambridge Analytica anymore. I mean, it is very, very likely they've just left the country and will probably not come back. It's a bit like when, what's his name, the Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg, was sort of asked to give evidence to the Parliament, and he refused. And essentially they've said, like, if he ever comes to Britain, he will have to give evidence to the Parliament. And that means basically Mark Zuckerberg just won't come to Britain. It's pretty simple, really. And now to talk about the elephant in the living room. Because although Cambridge Analytica, technically they broke the law in America, as in they were a foreign entity interfering or helping with a national election. That's actually illegal in America. But in this country, they didn't really break any laws. I mean, harvesting of data from Facebook is not illegal because people actually willingly give up that data because they are, well, you can fill in your own descriptive term for that. But it's weird, people are talking about how sort of evil they are, but really they're just operating as a private company interested in profit. They didn't really break any law. And this is the elephant in the living room, because in terms of harvesting data that we haven't willingly given up, as in our emails, our Skype conversations turned into text documents and then word searched for various interesting things. That's what the intelligence services have been doing for decades. I would say completely illegally. I mean, they're extrajudicial, so technically it's not illegal, but that is the elephant in the living room. Cambridge Analytica really in this country didn't really do anything particularly wrong, but the intelligence services operating militarily against their own people, harvesting data that we do not give permission to give up. That's the real problem, and that is the problem that the press are not going to be talking about, possibly because they're spooky themselves.